line. Check the radio, pit crew is far from slow. The lights no longer yellow. Ready, steady, go. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 In love with the ride. Burning rubber smells real nice. Fuel it up once or twice. Come on, fast is the way to drive. Crowds all on their feet, not one bothered by the heat. Imagine them in the driver's seat. Checkered flag would be sweet. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Everybody get ready. On your feet. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Crank it up. Crank it up. Oh, it's racing. 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 Crank it up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your final race for GOAT Racing League's 2022 season campaign. This is the Global Team Strategy Next Gen Cup Series Season Championship in the round of 4 here at Avondale, Arizona's Phoenix Raceway. Hello everyone, I am the Crusader, Christian Shriver, joining you all once more on this lovely day and evening with 2 championship seasons coming to a close for the GOAT Racing League. Last Tuesday, the Truck Series, and today, of course, the overwhelmingly high expected number Next Gen Cup Series here. This should be one for the ages and one for the record books as we get ready to set it down on this open dog leg circuit, mile long in length. Phoenix Raceway has a very sharp-ended corner and sharp-ended turns to really set these drivers apart. Watch for drivers early on to try to survive and succumb to the craziness that comes with it, many of which will definitely be paying close attention to that strategy and where they lie in this control of this heat today. Without further ado, race fans, let's get down to it. We'll tell you about your top 4 here going for the championship in a little bit, but first here is the starting lineup. There is going to be Chad Coleman, and the number 35 outside of him, all the way from Australia, and the 77 is Michael Caffery. Row number 2 is going to be the 47 of Joseph Garvala, is outside, one of the lone Canadians tonight, Butcher in the 93. Row number 3 is going to be the 94 of Justin Reynolds, the outside, and the number 76 is Mark Rodigan. Row number 4 is going to be Robert Dudleyville Dudley, and the 49 is outside, and the 8 is Maurice Burnett. Row 5 is Bobby Westell, and the number 90 outside the 98 is Christoph Hall. Row number 6 is the 95 of Sean Berg, the outside, and the 23 it is Charles Van Schaik. Row number 7 is going to be the number 29 of Philip Schmitz, and his outside will be Keith Prince in the 3. Row number 8, that will be piloted down by Mr. Sky Sinclair in the 74, the outside, in the number 96, that is Gerald Livingston. Row number 9, the final starters, Nathan Bogart in the 5, and finally, in the outside of him, in the number 18, is Cameron DeRue. If You feel the pressure and you feel the momentum. It's about to get heavy up in this part of town, ladies and gentlemen. Stage laps 35 and 80, and then 76 laps the distance from there. Your championship drivers going into this final race: Joseph Gravala, Bud Shearer, Charles Van Schaik, and Michael Strickland. That is going to be the championship four. But for Strickland, unfortunately, due to what happened last week, he has been parked for the night. 3 are going for the title. Who will it be to take it home? We're about to find out. Green flag is out. Let's go racing here at Phoenix. I'll talk more about what happened there to Strickland a little later on, but right now Joseph Gravala, Bud Shearer, and Charles Van Schaik got to take the early roundabout and take the early fight out of the start. Chad Coleman is going to be your race leader, though, as Michael Caffrey lays in the throttle. Justin Reynolds trying to look for the inside, looking for some momentum off as Gravala and Shearer right now do battle amongst themselves. Gravala knew going into this race here he was going to have to be at his best and at his toughest to take these guys down. But Shearer literally definitely almost collecting the championship back in the Truck Series last time out, making some serious moves and some serious headways that I thought honestly might be enough to make him run for it there. Didn't quite plan out as he wanted it to, but what it did help him out is give him some confidence here in this Cup Series race to face it down here at Phoenix. And already you're getting an idea of just how tricky and how difficult it is just to keep these things on guard and on point here. You know, there's a lot of openings they've got to face up with, and they really got to take control of, and they know they can't let things get too out of shape and too out of hand. Van Schaik already kind of trapped in the middle of that crux there as he gets kind of slayed into the bottom lane. Sure, already making some runs to the top here. Michael Caffrey, your number 2 qualifier, going a little bit lower out of the gate. Looks like maybe just trying to save the tires up, but Shearer seems to be the opposite here, trying to get to his teammate Justin Reynolds in the 94. In the chat today, John Hammond says, let's go Chop Shop, and AMR Paintworks saying, good luck everyone. Thank you all for tuning on in today here to the show. Field going to work their way around a little bit. A little trouble there for Road again. Gets a little bit loose, but Caffrey even worse for what? Worse for wear and trouble in the 74 of Sky Sinclair. The other Australian actually getting into it there with the 77 of Caffrey. So 2 Australians actually joining us here. 2 Canadians and the rest all are American / US United States drivers. Take a look at the replay here and see what the heck happened here. Well, we know what happened to Road again, but Caffrey looked like he just overdrove it a bit going into that corner. I take it back, somebody else overdrove it into that corner. Flips him on the side. Oh, Rodigan actually got 2 for the price of 1 there. Got kind of clipped up there. Took a big hit and nudge. And that in turn caused the wreck to happen on point and on the site. Let's go to the onboard camera here of Caffrey. But so that little bump and kind of got a good number out of all of them there. Caffrey hanging back low now. He's going to have some damage. He's going to need to get cleaned up as he goes along for the ride today. Nathan Bogart, Mark Rodigan, Sky Sinclair have all gone into pit road. Gerald Livingston also coming out of pit road. So now we'll square up our field back to square one here, and we'll see what happens from here. Timing of the weather today, though, looking pretty good, pretty solid. Not too bad out here today, I'll say. But I think what we're going to really be paying close attention to is just kind of the overall anticipation and the feeling that you're going to get as a final 3 driver, in this case, not final 4. So for if you're probably wondering at home, why is it the round of 4 where there's only 3 drivers going for the championship? Well, unfortunately, Michael Strickland has been parked for the night here. He was not able to get it out from Texas and here to Phoenix in one clean shape. But also, if you do recall, a little bit of controversy there between one of his other drivers there off of turn number 4 at Texas. Ended up getting a little bit spicy down there, and things were not exactly under control. So the officials, I believe, had to kind of silence those and make sure that they're well aware they're not going to have these kind of games played out like that. So a bit of a sad story there for Strickland. I do not know the full story, but that is what I'm going to predict happened. I could be completely wrong on that. I could have just spewed out some nonsense. Who knows? But we do know for sure one thing is clear. We have 3 drivers going for the championship. Charles Van Schaik, who pilots the number 23, currently down into pit road right now, getting some extra fuel and some tire mileage on his wheels. Joseph Gravala, driving the number 47 machine, the Auto Light Care. He'll be the other guy on that roster. And then the other is, of course, Bud Shearer in the 93. And again, Bud Shearer, last time out, had some bold moves and some bold tire strategies looking to maybe make or break his day. And unfortunately, it didn't quite plan out according to what he was hoping for. Aaron Smith, the gold standard, would take the title home for himself. We want to congratulate Aaron Smith again on your championship back Tuesday night here at GOAT Racing League. And we certainly hope someday we can see you down on the road here as you are heading for the road to pro. So our best wishes and luck to you and that team down there. For those that don't know, in iRacing, road to pro is when you literally go into the certain series, certain sections, and you're going to try your best to not only increase your iRating and safety rating up to the highest standard, but you're also trying to get a pro class license to then actually go out and race amongst some of the elitists of elitists, to which then that could even land you in the eNASCAR iRacing Coca-Cola series. It's a lot of hard work and a lot of trepidation to go through, but right now as we fire them off back down the green, we're going to see what these drivers got for. Hammond's saying nice paint job down there. I'm not really sure which one he's going with on that, but gonna lead him down off of turn number 2, off for the dog leg end. We've got a battle for the lead. Chad Coleman on the outside. Bud Shearer there on the low line with the RBS 93 trying to make a jump there in between, trying to look for the lead. And Shearer left high and dry there. Reynolds will stay right behind him. The drafting partner is going to try to use that to their advantage. We've talked about it before here too, like even with Sim 500 with Bobby Wetzel, when they can use the teams and they can use their own keyed up drivers and key up their help there, they can immediately make some damage really known to these guys and really make them well aware it is still a team sport out there and it's a very tight team end of racing. Some leagues actually kind of prohibit teams for that reason to make it more of a one-on-one affair, but let's be honest, even we all know there are still drivers out there that have a tendency to at least try to find someone to work together, whether it be on the draft tracks or the plate tracks or anything that really can give you a bit of an advantage. And it looks like Sean Burke, speaking of advantages, left high and dry off turn 2 as Philip Smith just completely laid him out there into the corners. Looked like he found another gear and just went straight shoot line and sinker in there. Robert Dudley returning to the show, the 49 Mercury machine. Been a while since we've seen him out here. Yeah, Dudley's got a lot of fans that always kind of pop in. Usually early Dudley's already talking up a storm here with us, but she seems to be kind of quiet today, so I think she's probably just kind of here in spirit with us for the time being. Gerald Livingston right now, the number 96. Good to see another Canadian driver here on the track here. I'd love to see the international flavor thrown at us. Of course, we've had drivers from Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, from Toronto, from Ontario, from the Ontario days, Alberta. We've seen Newfoundland. We've seen it all around these parts of town. Speaking of these parts of town here, Gerald Livingston, the 96, giving up on the outside as the 23 Charles Van Schaik swings his way in the Columbia machine down off the bottom lane into the corners. Maurice Burnett, the number 8 Caterpillar machine as well, trying to make some damage here on the number 29 of Philip Schmitz. Burnett has had a bit of a tumultuous season in his own right. He's had some good days and he's had some absolutely horrendous days on the track racing it out. He did tell me earlier today that he said, I'm not going to try to mess with anybody too much, but if it came down to me going for that race win via fuel mileage or tire mileage, I would not be complaining. I'll go for it. I kind of nudged him in the shoulder. I'm like, well, you better make sure you got to get there first, my friend, because there's some heavy, heavy hitters that will not hold back if at all possible just to make it or break it here. Swinging them around town here. Still a couple laps left to go here in stage number 1. Good battle off the edges there between Gravala and Hall right there. Christoph Hall in the 98 Target, Chevrolet. Trying to get the Camaros a little bit of a push here. The Fords, once again here on this mile-long track, seem to have the dominant factor again. Speaking of the dominant factor right now, look at this. Chad Coleman getting way ahead there. Justin Reynolds and Bud Shear and Bobby Westell, as those guys were battling hard for the control there. Shear right now in the driver's seat to manage and make or break the season out with the championship, because remember, highest of the top 4 declares the title. Joe Gravala comes on board saying, let's go Gravala. El Paso is watching. Go Army. Joe Gravala, great to have you on board today. Oh, and some more trouble there right off of the front straightaway. The Australian, again, Michael Caffrey. Just getting abused and used down there, unfortunately. And I don't know, that Pennzoil 77 is just a gold target because of what the gold, because of everyone hearing me say the gold standard all the time, or what's going on. But that was definitely a nice little hit into the wall there. We'll take a look at the Pizza Master replay. We didn't even get to see this. Came off right around turn number into the turn dog leg. Actually, the dog leg turn, lost in the corner. You can see the car just spins completely sideways, takes a huge hit there into the wall. Thankfully, he is okay. He is moving around. He is kind of saying a few words to his crew chief in the cockpit. Some I can't see on television, but we'll just leave it at that. All I can say is one thing is for sure, he can't believe he just did that. It's easy to do though. I mean, man, if you drive these next gen cup cars, I tell you, there is that stinking mechanism in there that I call the snap lock steering. The snap lock steering is really like just kind of a spring lock steering that just all of a sudden, like when you get a little bit out of shape or something goes a little bit wrong, it just snaps right in on you, and it just completely decimates your run and just completely throws you for a complete 180 or a loop. I've been in there, I've dealt with them. That's why I absolutely do not like driving these cars. And I didn't mind driving the Gen 6s. Heck, even the Gen 5s and Gen 4s are alright. I don't mind them too much. But these Gen 7s, you guys come at me all you want about this. I'm just not a fan of driving them. I like watching them. I'm just not a fan of driving them on iRacing. So, come at me for that one if you want. But I'm just being real with you guys. So from pit road, Charles Van Schaik is going to go back in. Joseph Gravala is going to be heading into pit road now too as well. So Bud Shear, Justin Reynolds will stay out. Chad Coleman went in and out of pit road, and that is where he's going to be kind of settled into. So the AutoZone 35 now has to go on offense instead of playing on defense for a time. Coleman's got a few wins in this season already though, and he's looking to add another one to that resume. He did win the last 2 races as well, just so everyone is clear. Took that one home at Texas Motor Speedway last time out, and he told me earlier I would not mind taking another one home if I can. Thing is though, he's got a lot of targets and a lot of people looking on him, looking to try to knock him off that title sponsor and that title spot. Bud Shear still trying to claim a championship, as is Van Schaik and Gravala. The rest of the field looking maybe just for that last win, or maybe to be the one they say they beat out the field and upset the drivers. By the way, only 22 laps in. We've got about roughly about 13 laps when we get back to the green flag restart here. Actually, be about 12. Excuse me. That's for the stage 1 anyway. Stage 1 will come to an end there at lap number 35. Which then sets up for stage number 2. And then from there, it's all the way to the final stage, and we'll just let them ride it out from there. One thing is for certain, though, the more these cautions keep kind of lingering around, the worse it becomes. And just a reminder here, folks, stage points do not matter. The only reason we even have the stages is just because it's written in the clause for the season. They will have the stages in every race. Personally, I kind of wish they didn't have that clause in there and they just went the full distance to see which driver was going to be the best, but I understand why they keep it in there. And in many regards it does actually force the drivers to actually have to get pretty clever with their strategies and pretty clever on when and where they got to make their moves and make their marks in order to then survive in that final stage. Throwing off down through turn number 4. Green flag is out. We're back at it at Phoenix. Well, Reynolds takes a big lead out of the gate yet again here. Christoph Hall trying to linger in as well, trying to make some moves here. Down to the playing fields they go here. Every driver themselves as Jack Coleman is wasting little to no time. He 3-deeps it in there, 3 wide through the corner. Triple position, triple stakes, and a high reward for his troubles. Jack Coleman has taken over for the 6th spot. He's looking for 5th. Maurice Burnett trying to hold him back on the outside from coming up too quickly, but he's not going to have enough time to hold him down, especially. And I got a guy that's literally just kind of slingshotting these corners around like it's nothing. Maurice Burnett taking control of this race. Reynolds right now trying to stay ahead of the mark, trying to stay ahead as well. Trying to be like the second man for his teammate here. Bud Shearer, though, again, the guy that's got a lot more to lose today, and he knows it. The target man himself, Christoph Hall, working his way down to the field. He's got Shearer right in his sights and laying into the field, looking for momentum as he goes. Every driver trying to carry as much as they can as well, just to try to outlast and outmuscle the other. But again, you got a long form race. You got a very worn down little track, very tight corners in many regards, as well as heat from the Arizona sun beating down on the corners and the tires, and now the driver's mentalities. Chad Coleman trying to save it. He does, but unfortunately at what cost? He just lost a lot of time doing that down there. Sky Sinclair will move the chains ahead. Sky earlier on getting involved in that little hiccup there between him and his fellow countryman Gaffrey as well as Rodigan. Those guys right now have been kind of laying back low and staying out of everybody's trouble in here for the Spartan, the most race. Gaffrey has got so much damage on that left side, it's pretty bad looking. Van Schaik in the 23 right now trying to get the Ford's camp back in control. Matter of fact, just realizing it too, all 3 drivers are Ford drivers for the championship. So we will have at least know a manufacturer in Ford winning it, but who will be the team to take it home? Van Schaik had 2 opportunities to win the title out this previous week of Tuesday night. Started from the back, made a bit of a comeback there late in the run. He didn't have enough time though, and didn't have enough speed and control to take down other guys like Aaron Action Jackson or even Bud Shearer there. And then from there, it's pretty much kind of hit and peck and take and go whenever you could to see who got the other there. You can see just too how they kind of dip into that yellow line there. They're trying to find a little bit more grip, a little bit more surface to kind of shorten the track out. Downside though to doing that is when you let that rear end slide out just a slight bit, that front of the nose almost becomes almost impossible to actually get the car to grip and rip it around. These are rear-wheel drive cars that use 670 horsepower package deal, low spoiler. Allows for very interesting racing and very tight racing. And on the mile and a half, it makes for some of the best races we've seen in the NASCAR Cup Series championship rounds in quite some time as we watch that throughout the season. Whoa! And even watching live here on the Color Gas right now, you can see just how close some of these guys can get on these short tracks here. Robert Dudley nearly getting Christoph Hall there. Had his eyes set on him. He had a thought process going through his self. Didn't quite get into him though. Even Sean Burke struggling a little bit down there. You saw the rear end sliding out a lot on the 95. Burke, Reynolds, Shear, and they're all trying to get a leg up on this one, and I believe the 96 Gerald Livingston, although I could be wrong on that one, all RBS drivers. I don't think actually Livingston is in that RBS camp, so I think it's just Burke and Shearer as well as Reynolds there. But with a team like that, you just know in the back of your mind there's going to be a lot of guys really kind of paying close attention to trying to make their chances and their highest hopes up as much as possible here. Smoke coming down from the back half there up top. I can't really tell who might have stirred that pot up, but it looks like it might have been Chad Coleman in the 35 yet again in Wabi Westel. As we're leading him down, final laps approaching. Here we go. One more to go. Justin Reynolds. And that's it. Stage is up. So Justin Reynolds will take home stage number 1 for his troubles there. The number 94 driver going to get himself in a very coordinated spot, as the 94 will take this one and rain down on the track. The question remains, can his teammate, the guy in that 93, take control late in the run, or will Reynolds keep leading the way, making it a little bit harder for his teammate to escape? Stay tuned with us, still more to come. So we're double file and back up now, ladies and gentlemen. Here, welcome back to the show as we're getting ready to scale this one back up a bit, really set us off on another course. Everybody right now is leaning out of the gates, trying to find themselves a very unique situation, a very hard race along the line to take control of this race. A lot of guys here know, though, they're going to be pushed to their limits and pushed to their stuff, as they're going to be having to come back around down off the corners here. And our paintwork's getting a little fire emoji in there. Nice to see that. I didn't realize you guys can put that in there. Because I learn something new every day these days. Anyway, here we go. We're going to lead them down now. 80 lap. We got 80 lap marker to end stage number 2. Back to the green flag this time on by. Cactus lights flicker green. Let's go back to it. Firing back down to the corners right out of the gate here. Coleman and Shearer having a little bit of a drive off. So far, none of the championship drivers have found themselves in any predicaments. They've came close a few times, but nobody has gotten in trouble yet. Shearer and Coleman right now having a little bit of a gas guzzle fight there between the two here. Coleman trying to get the better of Shearer. He's going to look to the inside. Now down and drive on the back straightaway. Elongated, hard corner 3. No room for error. Shearer keeping the momentum. Shearer knows, though, the more he's fighting off him, the more he'll be fighting with guys like Joseph Gravala when they come up to him. He's got to really tempo the spirit and tempo the tires here, because I think Gravala right now may be being a little bit instrumental on saving the course. Save the fuel, save the tires, worry about the rest later, as he always says. Looks like this guy is the limited Sky Sinclair in the 74, making some runs down off of the 98 of Christoph Hall. Look up ahead, though, right now. Coleman is not the only one battling for the lead. Look out for the Dudleyville cam. He throws Shearer into the flaming tables. Dudleyville has now taken the lead. The theoretical table that we always say when Dudley gets around you, he'll put you through. He just did. Looks like a little bit of trouble down there for Sky Sinclair again, though. Lost it off of turn number 1, or dogleg turn 1, I should say. And that's ironic because we talk about it. That corner seems to be getting a lot of drivers more as they go and fighting him a lot more often than not. Pierce Sinclair got bit there. Coming back around, though, look out for Gerald Livingston as well as Nathan Bogart. Now, Bogart, he had an interesting season. He had actually a couple chances in the trucks and in the Cup Series to go for a win or go for a little bit of a roundabout here to try to take control of the season. Never fully grasped or had that opportunity, though, to full on take it until it was a little bit too late. And he told me earlier today that, yeah, middle of my season has been perfect, but hey, I've still had some good finishes. I still at least had some good races and I had fun, so I mean that's kind of what all matters to me. Just kind of commended him and respected him for that decision and that mindset, but again, as a driver, we all know one thing is for sure: if you don't try and go out there and do your best, you feel like you're missing out, or you really have lost a little bit of touch with it. Sammy Harrell says, let's go Charles Van Schaik. Sammy, thanks for tuning on in here, buddy. Sammy, of course, we watched him last Tuesday night. He was joining us here on the track, racing it out with the field and with the best. As guys like Christoph Hall as well, going at it there and lost control down to the same corner, the dogleg turn. That dogleg right now is biting these Next Gen Cup Series, man. And by the way, can we stop calling them the Next Gens and just finally start calling them the Gen 7s already? It's really the end of the season. You would think I think it's about time we're calling them the Gen 7s now. They're NASCAR. I don't mind the car tomorrow being named, but the Gens 5 or whatever, but next gens, like, they've been out already long enough, in my opinion. Speaking of long enough out already, Bud Shearer right now knew what was coming when he had to drive up so far up ahead for the lead. And this is exactly what I was talking about too. If you give up too much speed early, you risk this kind of scenario. He's having to fight Gravala off right now. And Gravala is in the driver's seat now. He is the new leader in terms for the championship. Dudleyville is currently leading this field in with an iron fist though. Way ahead of the field and way ahead of everything else, but the story is going to be center point right now between these two drivers. Championship implications on the line. Gravala now going to have to go on defense and show he can hang with Shearer. Shearer though straight up books the offensive line into the inside. Look like he just completely rushed a few guards and then took a wide receiver to the house. Unfortunately though, Gravala is no ordinary defensive man. He is going to fight him for everything he's got. Defense right now extremely cunning and not giving anything out on the 47th camp here right now, and he knows Shearer is just laying in wait to make his move after he makes a mistake. Robert Dudley right now currently leading the field in right at the moment. The 49 currently just ahead of this field and just ahead of these drivers. Driving them up here and grabbing everything he can to the speeds here. Philip Schmitz, Chad Coleman, they're having a battle off too. And this is surprising for Schmitz because honestly Schmitz, this entire season, except for I think maybe like one or two races, I haven't really been able to see him at his top peak or his top performance. He's had moments of success, but he hasn't really shown brilliance levels up until right about now. And he's putting one up here right now with the guy that wants to go and throw the hat trick at him. You're in the halfway marker though. We still got about 30 laps remaining before we're halfway done with this race. Actually about 20 laps I should say. Philip Schmitz still leading the drive for second, trying to find some momentum to get up there to Dudley. Meanwhile, Bud Shearer has now got even more trouble on his hands. Look out, because here comes the Columbia 23 Ford Mustang himself, Charles Van Schaik. Aaron Action Jackson asking us a good question as well. Sammy Hurrell, why aren't you out there, Sammy? I mentioned him earlier in the truck series. Why aren't you out there, Sammy? Your fans like to know. We'd like to know in the broadcast. Speak away, sir. Heck, if I have to, I'll throw you in the broadcast booth. Maybe you can talk with us there if you really have to. Why is that? Maybe you can help me call this race a little bit too. But you can give us some insight on how these guys have been handling the nerves and how to handle this track today. Right now, Shearer was the guy who was ahead of everybody, and now he's the guy that's behind everyone for the top 3 championship runners. And I don't think right now he's one bit happy about that. But again, you know, we look at what he did. He just drove it so hard out of the gate, and now his teammates got troubles down there. Not looking good for the RBS crew. Number 94 here, Justin Reynolds goes for a little bit of a ride off here. Let's take a look at the replay. Came off turn number 2. Looked like he just, got a little loose there. He tried to save it, and then he just slowly slammed the brake and shifted it wrong time, wrong place. And as soon as he hit that wall, front of nose didn't even give. I don't even think he took any damage. That thing just took a huge little hit there. Actually, it looks like he didn't shift gears. It looks like you can actually see the steering wheel. He was actually trying to save it. That thing just snap locked on him. I said it once. I'll say it again, guys. The snap lock steering on these cars is extremely difficult to handle, and I don't even know what the heck happened to Michael Caffrey down there, but the 77 just can't catch our brake today. Well, we're nearing the halfway point. We'll have about roughly 2019 laps. 2219 laps, not 2019 laps. I don't know how the heck we do 2019 laps here. Oh, Sammy as well. I'm not going to say what he just put there, but Sammy, our thoughts and prayers and wishes from us here in the PT Race TV stand here, man. So the field will lean him back around yet again here. Robert Dudley is currently going to be the race leader. And with that huge lead he had now, I kind of wonder how much did he tear up getting that far ahead and that's far into the track here. Bud Shearer, Charles Van Schaik, all getting kind of traveled back around here. The good news, though, for them is that they went into pit road on lap number 58. Gravala's been on the tires for 37 laps, so that could be a problem for him in this case. It looks like Van Schaik's going to continue to rocket that strategy there. You got to just think in the back of your mind too, as everyone looks on, they know the circumstances, they know what they've got themselves into and what they're going to put themselves on. It's a lot of hard racing still to go. We have 19 laps remaining in stage number 2. And then final stage will come for the championship. Here we go. Leading back down the restart line. We're back underway, race fans. Coming around back to the corner ends here. One up top side. Road again. That is him. Trying to lead him back down. Though, there's trouble. Down the back straightaway. 4 or 5 cars involved. Doesn't appear any of the championship drivers was involved, thankfully, but a massive pile up there off the back straightaway leaves many scrambling, trying to figure out what on earth just happened. To the PTM instant replay we go. We'll have to take another look at it here. This was a little bit of a wild little push out. I think it might have been because of Mark Rodigan. Nope, actually take a look right on your left side of the screen. Ooh. Well, I don't know where that came from or what went down, but it looked like Sean Burke had a thing or two on Livingston there. Got him in the corner, and as soon as he clipped him, there you see he took the ride. It looks like he didn't quite get away with that all the way. Charles Van Schaik there, actually, you can see he was avoiding the wreckage. It looks like no contact, though, on the 23. We'll go back to his PT instant replay and take a look on his camera up to the dash there, see if he actually did suffer any damage. I don't think he did. Good timing, good braking there from Van Schaik. He really didn't waste any of the brakes on that car, so not only does he stay out of trouble, keeps his championship hopes alive. While we were watching that, though, a little bit further in the fact, though, Bud Shearer, the number 93, managed to get around Joseph Carvalho in the 47, taking control up on that end and on that playing field here. And Bud Shearer, by the way, is on fresher tires, so this can help himself out quite a bit more than what Carvalho is going to be in Charles Van Schaik as well. Van Schaik's going to be straight up back behind the field and kind of behind the proverbial 8-ball a little bit more than Carvalho would be. Shearer, though, is now in the driver's seat. However, how much has he wasted on the tires and how much has he wasted on the fuel? Remember, entering into this race, you get 3 additional set of tires. He's already used up 1. I believe this one will be his 2nd set, which means he's only got 1 set remaining. And if you look at how long he's going to have to make this last out, you got to be kind of thinking in the back of your head, is he trying to get to as far as he can in stage 3 with those set of tires he's going to have on now? Because in my opinion, Carvalho and Van Schaik as well, even Van Schaik's got this kind of problem too. But Van Schaik seems to be kind of laying low a lot more than Shearer is. So he can at least save the tires. Carvalho is leaving those tires alone. And that, in turn, in my opinion, could be giving him the advantage. It really could be. Well, alright, race fans, here we go. 5th caution of the day here. We're going to line him back down the back straightaway, though. Off of turn number 2, we're going to get him down that stretch here. We're going to see Robert Dudley go back out of here. Schmitz here as Shearer is going to have a very, very big advantage. Looking for the lead and looking for the stage win. That, in turn, could help his cause and help his case to go for the title. We're going to lead him back down. Green flag high in the air. Let's return to the action. Shearer wasted no time. As soon as the word go went into play, he just sent it onto the bottom lane, past the dog leg. New leader, the 93 of Bud Shearer. But again, though, you got to be questioning. This isn't for stage points. This isn't for championship points. That doesn't matter. What matters is that final stage and the final run you're going to get with it. Is he tearing up the tires right now in a horse for wear way? It may have been better just kind of lay low for a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be bugging him right now. Sky Sinclair in the 74 right now as well, making a great comeback, swinging it through the field, 11 spots up, hard charger of the award. Philip Smith with 10 spots up, though he's also in that category. Aaron Jackson saying, look at all the pit stops, they may have 2 sets left. I mean, if that is the case, then I guess maybe I was wrong on how I was judging it, but I had thought that when they went in earlier, that they only had taken a set, they had taken a set already. Instead of the way I was judging off pit stops as well as I was judging and everything else, but right now we'll stop judging the pit stops. We got a battle going on for the first 3-car duel. This is a trio, and Shearer is the lone man out because he's going to have to fight off both guys at the same time. Schmitz right now using Dudley as well. Shearer again, though, once more, he just starts to drive it off completely. Hard into the ground and hard into the track, and I just kind of question, is that going to logistically last him for the time being? And Joseph Carvalho, oh my, almost got himself a piece of Philip Schmitz. Schmidt's having to back down a little bit, and it looked like Gravala had to slow that thing down to a creeping crawl to make sure he avoided trouble there. And looking like I need to make a miscalculation on my end too. Shearer looked like he only went into pit road for fuel, so Aaron Jackson is right there. So if they do have 2 sets remaining, then that at least gives them a golden opportunity. But I still stand by what I said on running the tires in this hard and letting other drivers see what you're up to. I just personally don't agree with the strategy. I'm more of a kind of laid in, lay low kind of guy. Sneak up on them when they least expect it. Let them get comfortable, and then when you have that opportunity to strike them and get them good. Because they never know what hit them till the time comes. That's always how I've played it out. Or you absolutely dominate a race. And with these next-gen cars, I just don't see that always being the case and a good thing to do, because dominating leads you to what's happening right now. Dudley thought he was dominating, taking this one home in stage 2. And Sean Burke just literally snuck to the field. I didn't even know where the 95 came from. These RBS guys are not letting anything go today. That is for certain. Burke jumping into the lead. Smiths side by side there with Dudley. Almost making contact. A little bit off the corners of turn number 2. Shearer and Gravala also kind of boosting it down a little bit. Shearer still trying to find another leg down. A little bit more of an opening. He's got the 76 mark. Rodigan literally kind of slowing him down too. Gravala, despite having a little bit less fuel under the hood, seems like his tire strategy is working better than Shearer's. Again, my problem with Shearer's is, again, he just drives it so aggressively out of the start. But Gravala, because he's patient, it makes it last a lot longer, and that in turn makes him faster. Speed is one thing, and being fast is one thing, but being a driver is another. I've always said it before. It doesn't matter if you're literally a male or female, you're 3-legged or 3-armed or 2-armed or 1-armed or whatever, and if you can figure out how to run strategies better than the other, it doesn't matter. When you put that helmet on, you have now become a driver. If you can figure out how to become the best driver, that's how you win races, and that includes turns, meaning how to run the field, how to run the track, and how to run the system. If you know how all of it works, and you know how every little big piece, detail, and everything comes with it, and how drivers work, you then can start putting the puzzle pieces together. And that's exactly what everybody's been trying to do here, and they've been trying to figure out, as Rodigan and Gravala almost kind of clipping it up there down through turn number 2. Remember, this is your battle for 4th and 5th right now, respectively, because here comes Caffrey. Michael Caffrey gonna throw some haymakers down on the track. Looks like he's getting tired of laying low there while the other drivers have their fun. He's going to kind of throw it in there a little bit and try to get his laps back. And unfortunately, he's not going to have time to get the full-on lap back here in this one. But he certainly made some noise. 3 deep off of turn number 4. Gravala trying to hang in there. Shearer falling way back into the distance here as there's wait a minute, Sean Burke, what has happened to your race leader? Sean Burke has lost it into the turn. We'll have to visit the PTM Instant Replay in a minute, but first, right now, look on from ahead. Robert Dudley with the lead. Schmidt's trying to catch him. So I guess for domination-wise, you got to give the nod to Dudley, but he did get a little bit lucky as Sean Burke gives him the opening, and he takes full control of it down the back straightaway one last time here in stage number 2. And it's all Robert Dudley taking down Philip Schmitz to end stage number 2. Two different stage winners, and none of them were your championship 3. But the story, in my opinion, what happened to Sean Burke? He looked like he had everything figured out, everything going right. What went wrong? Came off down right here. Look at that. He hit the gas pedal at the wrong time. Great save there. But that's got to be the most frustrating feeling in that 95 camp, to know he had the lead, only to just completely lose it. What a race so far it has been, folks. So Dudley taking some hits, taking some moves here, and he has just completely thrown everybody out of the ballpark here in terms of scope and speed. As we're going to be taking a close look at our championship drivers here right now. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take it to the blimp cam here, try to get a view on everybody. Graval and Scheer, they need some good stops here. Van Schijk's also still in this. He's in the 12th spot, looking to try to get back in this. Looks like he'll be trying to go for more of a fuel run. Dudley is out first. Spitz will come out second. Maurice Burnett's going to get third. Bogart fourth. Fifth will be Sky Sinclair. And Gravala beats out Scheer from pit road. So it looks like Scheer's strategy didn't exactly pay off according to plan there. Which now leads us to this one. Who's going to take home the win? So much on the line for these drivers. So much at stake and so much craziness mixed in between. It's absolutely amazing how tight this field is and how good this next-gen Cup car has been handling here at Phoenix compared to, my opinion, like how it would have been in real life. It doesn't seem like it translates as much as it does on iRacing. But nevertheless, here we're about to find out which driver will make or break their day here in just a moment. And here we go again, race fans. We have now hit past halfway. A championship is on the line in this stage. 3 come in for the title. 1 leaves with it. Who will it be? The green is out. We're lining it back down here for the final time at Phoenix. Entering out down through corner number 3 to turn number 4, Robert Dudley and Maurice Burnett go head to head here once again. Sky Sinclair literally showing the sky is the limit as they are fighting for the top honors. Sinclair looking to add their name as one of the only Australian drivers to win here on P3's TV. we've only had two others to their names. One on the dirt side, and the other just happens to be Michael Caffrey in that 77. Sky Sinclair looking to add his name to that resume. We're going to go 3 deep in, off down through turn number 4. Slingshot it around, but sure, he's all over the place, battling with Gravala. Shear again, just driving the wheels right off of the 93. But as that same situation that Gravala is wanting him to do, even Charles Van Schaik's probably waiting for it. Van Schaik's been paying very close attention to every move, every spot these guys have put on today from the back of the outhouse, and it seems now it's time to put it all into perspective and put it all into a momentous occasion. Head to head with Bud Shearer down the inside, down to the back stretch. Still can't get the run going for himself though. Meanwhile, Gravala up in the fight into the distance zone. He's got Nathan Bogart in the number 5 right now, trying to get right there to him. So much going down, so much craziness mixed in between. And you can just feel the intensity. You can see it all just kind of unfolding before your eyes. Chad Coleman, then there, 35 right now, going back and forth here with Sky Sinclair in the 74. The 49 of Robert Dudleyville. Dudley trying to situate and stimulate the field in just a little bit more. Knows the laps are winding down though. This championship race is definitely something I think a lot of these guys were intending was going to get a bit wild, was going to get a bit hard. And the hard racing always follows when you got about 15 to 20 drivers showing up. For the 18 drivers today, it already has added on to that growing list of pains many are going to have to face just to try to get to the best and to the front. Maurice Burnett, though, leads the field in right at this moment. Chad Coleman right with it. Sean Burke's already in pit road. One of the RBS drivers out already. Struggling to maintain distance and maintain the grip. He's fighting it down right on the inside there. Sinclair is not letting Dudley breathe 1 inch. He's trying to put the foot on. He's trying to put a boot down on his throat here. Got 1 foot on the gas pedal, 1 just ready to take right down on his throat and trying to take him down a few notches. I guess if I had to be a little more family friendly, I'd say probably trying to give him the old WWE big boot, if you will, in a wrestling term. Sammy Harrell saying, look at old Maurice leading this thing. Yeah, he's leading it. He's got more than just a boot on everybody right now. He's got a full-on head mark stamped. He's branded them down there with his name in the lead. But Sinclair, he doesn't exactly take too kindly to those who branded him there. He wants this lead. He wants it badly. Burnett, though, with the presence of mind, staying controlled and conservative. Smart thinking on the face of the 8 Caterpillar machine. Sinclair, though, moving his way down around. Brent Logue joins us in saying, good evening, sir. Brent, great to hear from you, sir. Been a while since I heard from you today. How you been, buddy? And speaking of how you been, Sinclair saying, how you doing, Burnett? Burnett's little Cinderella story gonna come to an end. Sinclair, hard Charger award now to the lead. Absolutely impressive stuff here from the Go Racing League today. Dudley, Coleman, Burnett, Shearer, Reynolds, and Burke, and now Sinclair have all had a taste of the race lead. And have a 156 lap race, airy and crazy, very technical in nature, and awesome to see they've been able to do this in such a high stake, high percentage. Bobby Wetzel in the number 9 machine, Ford Mustang right now. Trying to lead down, backing around to the corners here, going head to head with some of the Chevy guys. And Mark Rodigan there. Look at this though, coming up from the ranks here, is falling back quickly, and guess who's replacing him in that category? Gravala sent back around there. Burnett lost a lot of ground, lost a lot of time there, and loses his lead over, which gives Gravala a chance now to take control of his own destiny, because he's got Van Slyke trying to take him down. Brad Bennett, all right, my friend, just still trying to get used to my racing rig and trying to get used to all that stuff, man. If I just stopped tinkering with this thing, I'd be happier off, but that's just, yeah, you know how I am. I'm a little bit picky, so. But anyway, freaking around right at the moment. Gravala and Slyke going head to head, toe to toe. If Gravala makes one measly mistake, Van Slyke will have momentum to catch him. And you can see Van Slyke, he's playing it very conservatively, smooth through the turns. Very smooth out the corner. As I say that, though, he gets it too hard under the dog leg. And Van Slyke's day may have just all of a sudden been put into question. The 23 slings it right off the dog leg turn, and he lost all the momentum, giving Bud Shear what he needed to come back. 56 laps remaining, I know, but take a look at this. Came off right off the turn 4 to the dog leg. Watch Van Slyke. That turn and that corner is a risk and reward. If you take it right, you get it done. You get time back. If you take it wrong, you lose so much more. High risk and high reward, but it is a dangerous risk at the same time. But the difference between cutting off about a hundredth of a second to a tenth of a second to not getting to losing it just by a little bit can make that difference and make that case worth it. And that's what drivers always look for. Gravala right now only about a second ahead of Shear right now. This is your battle for the lead, for the winner's check and the championship trophy. Gravala right now is in hot, steady pursuit. But he knows Shear is right there with him. That time around, though, Gravala seems to have found a little bit of a leg up, found the momentum and the speed it takes. Sky Sinclair leading this one down, but guess who came back? He's back again. And it's not Shady's back. It's Coleman's back. Chad Coleman to the inside. And the Mad Lad has got him. Chad Coleman has got this lead now once again. He started in first today. He takes back the lead, but Dudleyville is not out of this one yet. Sinclair, though, he's got some time to make up and a lot of ground to clear up. Seemed like he may have burnt up the right front a little too much and the right rear a bit more than he was expecting it to. That might have cost him there. Also, just asking in the comment section, but have anybody had any issues with their frames today? I think I might have had a few drops on my end, but I'm just watching it from my end here. Hoping it's not freezing over or anything, or that's the last thing we need right now. Uh-oh, and speaking of the last thing they needed to see, this is what they don't want to see. Caution flag in the air. We've got a problem. The problem, Nathan Bogart comes to a dead stop. Out on the back straightaway after turn number 2. Let's take a look back at the P2 instant replay for the number 5 and Nathan Bogart. What went wrong in the National Guard camp? Looks like he got a little bit too below that yellow line. Remember what I said earlier about this thing becoming more like a dragster when that front of the nose gets completely drifted down and that rear end gets lifted up. That's what I was a little bit worried about. That's why you don't want to go too low on that apron. Bogart spun it and lost everything in between. Caffrey able to avoid him, but I don't think Bogart can avoid the pride lost on his end there. Hurrying back onto the show there, but Shearer and Gravala racing each other out of pit road. Shearer still stuck in there. The 93 taking a lot of time down there, and that's not a good sign. Pit crews need to hurry up and get him out of there if he wants any chance here. And he's still stuck in there. I don't know if maybe he's got a problem down there or what's going on, but Shearer is not coming out of pit road. Van Schaik's out. Gravala is out. Shearer not coming out. What on earth has happened to the number 93? And he's finally getting out of pit road. I think he might have a time penalty down there for going in too quick to pit road. Or something went desperately wrong there. Either way, or maybe trying to get some damage cleaned up. But either way, that cost him a lot of time. I'm really trying to speculate because, again, I can't tell what all they're doing down there or what's going on, and I can't hear from the drivers because some of the things they'll say or do, literally, I would probably get us demonetized on camera. I've already had enough troubles with that. Thank you there, Facebook. But right about now, it looks like Shearer's going to need more of a comeback than the Vikings today against the Colts. Time running out. Opportunities don't come easily here, folks. Take your chances now before it's too little too late. Green flag, back on out. Time to see if we can finish this one out. Oh, look out up ahead. Michael Caffrey. Hang on, hang on. Woo, my. I don't know. That was Sean Burke or that was Bud Shearer that got him. It might have been Shearer. Entering in through the front stretch, corner turn number 1. Off the dog leg, though, currently right now. It's a bounce back here. Gravala trapped in the middle. Kind of stuck up there with the Australian. Sinclair as well. Christoph Hall on the bottom. Charles Van Schaik kind of mixing it back in. That little mistake he made earlier. He certainly doesn't look to try to do the same thing twice. Jack Coleman, Robert Dudley, though, in a hopscotch battle, but it's for the lead. Coleman trying to skip right ahead. Dudley trying to put him back through another table. Apparently he hasn't thrown him enough tables yet like the Buffalo Bills do usually. Christoph Hall down in the bottom lane now, trying to go in 3 deep. We're 3 wide off Gravala. Oh my, he nearly got taken for a ride there from Dudley. Left rear corner panel nearly getting scraped up by the 49. Dudleyville able to stay out of the way. Good sportsmanship on his end and driving to at least stay out of that distance. Van Schaik, though, now needs to start making some moves. Dudley backs off. Schaik's going to go after Gravala. The championship is on the line. Oh yeah, Brent, don't remind me. Honestly, I'm not a Vikings fan by any means. I'm a Packers fan at heart, but I'm still surprised they even did that. By the way, for those that are a Matt Ryan fan, I kind of feel really bad for you guys right now because he's the one that's been a part of the biggest deficit comeback in Super Bowl history and now the biggest deficit in NFL history. I am sorry to say, but it's not a good time to be Matt Ryan right now or that team. Speaking of comeback trails right now, Coleman coming back from all his mistakes earlier in stage 1 and 2, making a great run down here in the final stage. But Gravala, though, laying it right to him and trying to stick with him, also trying to battle for a winner's check here. Christoph Hall just kind of staying in the driver's zone, in contention and in where he needs to. But look to the inside. Here comes Gravala. We have another new leader. Joseph Graval leads it down. Van Schleich watching on. Christoph Hall right now going back down low. He still won't let up on the number 47. Coleman, though, trying to get back at him here and lay it into him as quick as he can. Going back down low. Looks like he wants to throw the dart right into the target. It didn't quite land his mark. Looks like that's going to be a bust, as they say. Justin Reynolds, by the way, remember earlier on, he won stage number 1. And the 94 driver is looking to try to get back at it here, make some more momentum and some more headways. Butcher back in as well in this fight. He's moving it into the 5th spot despite literally being in a coversome area earlier. Him and Van Schleich going to work together, as you can see them driving it hard through the dogleg. That dogleg again, though, is a risky maneuver. It's really an all or nothing kind of move off it. You either take or give what you can get from it. Come to think of it, too, this entire season, I don't think Gravala has actually won a race. I could be very wrong. I don't think he's won any races this season. Actually, I take that way back. He's won 4. Sorry, Gravala. I didn't mean to kind of spit you out there, my friend. But he has gotten 4 wins this season. Four wins throughout the season in total. His championship hopes laying in the balance. This one will mean the most to him, but right now Christoph Hall still looking for his win of the season as well. He's had a couple here on Pizza Race TV before, and right now he's looking like he has just made it one step harder for Gravala, because now he's going to run into the dirty air, and he's also going to run into some more troubles. Here they go, the final 3. One last showdown. Could either of these 3 drivers take control of this race? This is what the fans came to see. They wanted to see these 3 just throw haymakers and throw it all on the line in this last lap battle off end. Last chances up ahead. Van Schleich to the inside, going for double trouble. Daily double. Van Schleich to the lead. His strategy waiting until the right time pays off again, and this time Gravala trying to catch back to him. Hall gets him blocked, though, down into the turn number 3. Through corner number 4, Van Schleich has got a 0-set lead. Bud Shearer, though, coming for them all. Gravala now needs to play a little more offense. He was playing some good defense, but he's now going to get back on the offensive train once again. These guys just do not quit, and they will not give it up. One wrong move, and it could be game over, and that might have just been the move Gravala waited for. Van Schleich opens the door. Gravala through the dogleg. High risk, high reward. Race lead begins again. Gravala is your new leader once more. Sammy rooting on his boy down there. Wants to see Charles throw it all out. Give it the win. Van Schleich this entire season has done nothing but really just put the boots and the crown on top of everything and anyone. Always looking on and always trying to get one step ahead of him and get to the championship hunt. He's got a great car right now, and it's looking more and more like he's got a solid effort, a solid chance here, but he's still kind of in a bad situation, knowing that he is dealing with the pressure of having to get back ahead of the 47. when he gave up that lead, that was through turn 3, opened the door up just the slightest bit. Did Gravala burn up too much tire doing that move? That is what Van Slyke is desperately, and I mean desperately, hoping on. But Van Slyke, though, he knows something too. He saw it earlier. He got too aggressive there off of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway, then into the dogleg. And he actually shot that corner straight out, causing the car to actually get extremely loose and temperamental at him. I think that's kind of why he's waiting right now. He's being very, very patient. But Gravala is not being patient. He's being extremely conservative and then impatient. And he's trying to move the chains ahead, take control of this race, and take control of everything else. No discrepancies there. But Scherer, though, right behind him. He's looking to try to claim both of them in this case. Van Slyke, though, a little bit slower off. Scherer, very aggressive. Entering through turn 1 into turn 2, down to the back half. You can hear that little shifting in between too. That's also getting these guys kind of slower down and a little bit more on the nose and on the mark here. We've got 27 laps remaining here, and right now the tires seem to be fading on Slyke here. Scherer looks like he's going to have some work still to do. He's losing time on Gravala every now and then, but then he's gaining time back on him. Meanwhile, for Scherer and Van Slyke here had gained some on him on lap 127, 128, 29. That was not his time. Scherer looks like he's going to try to narrow it down a little bit more, but Van Slyke is giving him all he's got. Gravala, though, as long as it stays green, you know Scherer is going to be just waiting and wait. Well, a little bit of trouble there for Christoph Hall, nearly losing it there through turn 1 and 2. Just got to be careful down there. This whole field, by the way, is separated out except for that top 5 here. Some of the heavy hitters that came earlier on, Sky Sinclair, Maurice Burnett, Nathan Bogart, Sean Burke, they've all fought hard, they all fought well. But right now, all eyes on the final stage are on these 3 heavy hitters, with everybody looking at their best, looking at their strongest. 23 laps remain. Gravala trying, and I mean desperately trying to just make sure every single corner, every single push of that throttle, everything he does, taking control with it. Making sure he's got it dialed and narrowed in. Brent Logue asking about NASCAR. Mention anything about experimenting with electric cars, or do you know? What I do know is that there was a car that is an electric car from Joe Gibbs Racing that was put on a little video about doing a pit stop with, and a lot of people kind of lose their minds over it. It's despite the fact that car has been around for a while anyway. And even then, their electric cars wise, to be honest, they're low. We have not heard anything about NASCAR saying anything about it going electric in the near future. I'd say probably more than likely you'll see them go full electric in maybe Xfinity Series sometime in roughly 5 or 6 years. That'd be my guess. I don't think they'll ever go Cup Series electric until maybe like 2030, 2032, 20 to 2035, I'd say. Like, that'd be like my time range, 2030 to 2035. That'd be about the time you see that happen. And when that does, honestly, I don't know how they'll even be able to deal with all the noise and all the stuff they're going to have to make for these cars. Because these cars, the whole reason a lot of them go watch them and they love them is because of the roars you hear. I'm not so sure I feel about an electric car on the track, honestly. Aaron Axel Jackson saying he thinks you'll see a new hybrid in the near future. Could very well be there. I mean, they have discussed it. I do know they have talked about trying to get it a little more eco-friendly and ecosystem-wise, like making sure that they got enough for the manufacturers to stay on board. Speaking of manufacturing right now, Chad Coleman, Justin Reynolds, Charles Van Schaik, Bud Shearer, Joseph Graval, all representing the Ford house right now. The house of Ford has completely taken this track in its wings today. Only one Toyota driver in Robert Dudley, and he put up a tremendous performance earlier, but now has fallen victim and fallen prey. But going back to what Jackson said as we're getting back into the final laps, the reason why I kind of agree with what he says and why they probably will end up doing that is because the fact that Formula One has already done that with their cars. I think it was like a couple years ago they ended up putting that in there for their future takes and everything. Butcher, by the way, has ended up in pit road here. Had to get some fuel under the tire and a little bit of extra set of tires trying to get back in this one. So I'll fall back a little bit though, and he's going to have a lot of hard work to get through in this case here. Charles Van Schaik and Joseph Gravala just kind of lingering it around. Jack Goldman, I actually can hear him clutching that 35 in. I think he's going to go for the long run here. I think he's going for the full run. I don't know if that'll work out entirely for him, but man, he's going to try to push his limit here. Gravala and Van Schaik right now probably paying close attention to one another, just trying to see which driver blinks first. Butcher back out on the track here, and he's already hustling and bustling through some fields. Tires and fuel taken off for the 93. Really had no choice. Speaking of no choice, there's problems. Christoph Hall. Slow down, almost costing a caution to come out there for turn number 2. And Van Schaik and Gravala well aware of that now. Looks like they're going for a broke here. Gravala slowing down tremendously here. Van Schaik giving it right back up to him there. They are hurting on fuel. They are hurting in those cars right now. I guarantee it. Jack Coleman, though, looks like he still wants to play a little spoiler. Speaking of playing spoiler, here comes Van Schaik to the inside. Gravala opens the door up. They are dead even right now for the race lead. 14 to go. Here goes the 23. Van Schaik down to the inside, trying to put it ahead. Gravala desperately trying to hang on. Coleman, though, is almost right in the corner panel. He throws it right back at him. Jackson saying the fuel runs about 50 laps. Well, that's about how long it would take, but considering when they went into pit road last, they are pushing and cutting it extremely close. Oh! And speaking of cutting it close, Rodigan gets into it a little bit. Then, with the 47, then tags the wall. He wall-righted it right down through the corner. And he's going to get it right ahead of Charles Van Schaik. What kind of Chastain move was that? My word. He just narrowly takes Gravala for a ride, then he gets around Schaik by just throwing a Chastain move at him. What on earth? 12 laps left to Coleman right now looking to make things just a little bit more interesting. Van Schaik desperately trying to hang on. Van Schaik this season has come eagerly and narrowly in the top brackets before, but this is the first time he's had to go one-on-one here for a true championship duel. The last thing they want to see is the one thing that I think Bud Shearer wants most. I'm not saying it out loud because I don't need to give no broadcast or curse involved here, but Gravala not having anything to do with the 93. Shearer trying to jump through the field and jump through the hoops. One more to go and it's back on the lead lap. And if these guys can't run the fuel mileage in, he'll have full control. Shearer's back on the lead lap. Van Schaik though, with just a mere 10 laps remaining, we're putting the top 5 on your screen. Justin Reynolds taking it out top. Look out! Schaik's in the wall! Schaik is in the wall! Here comes Coleman to the inside for the race lead. Schaik needs to be careful here. He doesn't want to battle too much with Coleman. Not with Gravala where he's at. Schaik though is overdriving the corners. He overdrove it. Gravala now back inside his corner panel. The 47 has a chance to catch him. Coleman literally stunning the field again, and he's going to play a spoiler in all this, but Schaik and Gravala have got some war of words to deal with here. Gravala desperately trying to hang on. He can't get too crazy, he can't get too hard on the throttle, and he knows he's got to stay smooth. Sky Sinclair now going to move it ahead as well. They have got 7 laps remaining. This is extremely close. In the fuel run, Keith Prince goes to pit road. He's done for the day. The number 3 down and out. Will not be able to get this thing up and running, unfortunately. He's calling it a day, despite the fact he didn't even get a lap out on the track, I don't even think. Watch this, folks. It's close as it gets. It's as close as they come. Sky Sinclair right now and Jack Coleman back out of here. Look at Charles Van Schaik, though, making another run for it. I do see the comment section as well. I can't really answer you guys right now or really give you any more thoughts on stuff because right now we still got this race kind of to finish out. Gravala, though, this is what he didn't want, and he's going to have to cost himself dearly. He's going to pit road. Does Van Schaik have enough, though? If he's on a 50-lap run, he went in at lap 106. That is good enough to do to finish it out. But he is cutting it extremely, extremely, extremely close. Caffrey watching on as well right now. Gravala's back out of pit road, but he's already given Bud Shearer all the time he needed to get back into it. If Van Schaik goes to pit road, it will be Shearer's to lose. And Sean Burke is right in front of the 23. Will he try to block a little? What will he do? His teammate is way back in the field. If I was Burke, just let them race it out. Forget trying to play a team breakdown here. Let this be their own race. Van Schaik right now using the draft, using the momentum to carry through from Coleman as well as Burke now. While at the same time trying to get as much that fuel run as possible. He is stretching it and he is pushing every ounce of that thing to its limit. Shearer is about 16 seconds back trying to catch him. Coleman and Schaik still battling hard for the lead. Coleman trying to pull the hat trick. Schaik trying to pull the championship trick. We've got 2 laps remaining. This is your championship battle right now with only 2 more to go. The sun starts to fade off down here in Avondale. Coleman continue to clutch. Van Schaik doing the same. Van Schaik, oh my! He's in trouble. I can already see he's slowing down a bit. He's got to clutch this thing in just one more time. One more set. White flag in the air for the title. Coleman is going to lead him down. He's just got to make 2 more good corners after this. Coleman continuing to push it. Van Schaik the same. Through the backstretch, Dudley into the wall. But they're 3 and 4. Coleman will bring it to victory lane and pull the hat trick off. But for Charles Van Schaik, he's your champion. The Cup Series title belongs to the 23. He had the crowd on his side. He had the people on his side. And today the car was on his side too. The championship belongs to the number 23. Charles Van Schaik hangs on to the bitter end. Wow, oh my, race fans. What a performance. Chad Coleman is going to take home the race win. But the 23, he's got somewhere else he wants to be. Congratulations to Chad Coleman on the race win today. As Van Schaik is going to try and go, and whatever's left of that fuel mileage down there, he's going to try to go park it over there. I think Bud Shear's hanging around over there too right now while he's at it. He's going to try to get over there. I don't know if he's going to be successful or not. So while those two have a little talk down there, let's take a look at your race results here, race fans. Chad Coleman wins this one to the end. Charles Van Schaik takes home second. Third will go to Michael Caffrey. Phil Schmitz goes fourth. Bud Shear will take fifth. Reynolds will go sixth. Seventh to Sky Sinclair. Eighth to Bobby Wetzel. Christoph Hall ninth. 10th to Robert Dudley. That will round out your top 10 today. I think Bud just want to have a little fun down there. There it is. There is the champion. We'll talk to your drivers here now live on the show, race fans. They've got a lot of talking to do. Let's start off here with our 3rd place finisher today, race fans. He comes to us from the land down under. In the 77, ladies and gentlemen, your second fastest driver in qualifying, 3rd fastest of the day. It's Michael Caffrey here in the 77. Michael, this was a all over the place affair in the first 2 stages, but then the 3rd stage, you managed to finally get out of that mess and you get yourself into the podium. How did it feel to kind of take that one home today, sir?
Yeah, it feels pretty good to make it up onto the podium. Look, yeah, I was pretty slow those first 2 stages. I had a lot of dramas, but I was able to right myself, looked after those tyres, and saved them for those final stages.
Yeah, save them for the final stages, make good use of them, and take it all in stride into the end. But I'll ask you too, I mean, things were getting a bit wild there coming later into the run. I mean, how difficult was it just to even make it past some of these guys, much less trying to find openings to take control of?
Yeah, look, it's in the end, I think it came down to that fuel usage as well. So I was sitting a little bit behind, so I was able to, I was able to conserve a little bit of fuel, so I was able to make it to that end. Yeah, and some of those guys were pretty tough to get around. I think I was having a good battle there with Christopher Hall, but yeah, hey, look, we made it up there. That's the main thing.
You certainly did indeed, man. I know this one was a long time and a fight to go for, so who do you want to thank here for this one today?
Hey, look, first and foremost, I'd like to thank all the fans out there watching. Without them, we wouldn't be getting the coverage yourself for the broadcast itself, and all the sponsors. And I'd like to thank Chuck and Goat Racing for allowing me in the league, and finally my wife for letting me put some laps into this thing.
For sure, they're here. Michael, man, congratulations. You put the laps down and you put the 77 into another podium. Congratulations, sir.
Hey, thanks, Christian, and I'd like to thank Charles and Chad for taking out 1 and 2.
For sure, there. Caffrey, man, it's great to see you. We hope to see you next time out here in the next season, buddy.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers to you too. Caffrey, ladies and gentlemen, your third place finisher today. We'll talk with the race winner here now and then our season champion in just a moment. But race fans, taking it for a hat trick today, Chad Coleman. The 35 will win it out here. And Coleman, you just can't seem to help yourself and be on a roll no matter where you go, sir. And once again, you almost play a completely big spoiler to everybody, but you hanged on. Strike this one big. This was a big one for you and the team. How did it feel to throw 3 in this season?
Yeah, that one was a little more fun. That was pit strategy race right there. They had to save fuel that whole last run because it was right on the verge of it was right on the edge of making it, like about a gallon short, a little over a gallon short. Whenever we went back green, so couldn't really charge right there. Couldn't run hard. Had to clutch most of the run. Stick it in fifth gear and leave it. Car drove completely different right there with the leaving it or sticking it in fifth gear. It was different, but was able to save enough fuel to finish out the race and even do a little burnout.
Even do a little burnout and put some fans in the stands and happy on their toes and on their feet. And I know you had to absolutely take this thing in full stride and full conversation mode just to even survive out here. But for what it's worth, my friend, I got to ask you, I mean, how hard is it really just in general to win against these guys, much less when there's a championship on the line to go one-on-one with them and then just kind of put this one into full perspective and how crazy it was to the end?
They've got some pretty good guys over here. The guys are fun to race with. Is the biggest part. As far as the racing against them, with them racing for a championship, I wouldn't say I'm a real aggressive driver, but I give these guys a lot of room. That I know they're racing for a championship, and I know in our other leagues that every once in a while they'll let you guys come in during that point, and they're in there and driving over their heads, and we're fussing about them being in there and being in the way and over their heads and stuff in some of our other leagues. So I just make sure I'm not that guy when I come over here. So I just pick and choose my battles, and I can get by a good clean pass and get away, then that's what I do. But if not, I just kind of sit back and bide my time and ride and wait on those opportunities.
You certainly did indeed. But hey, man, at the end of the day, Coleman, you got 3 this season. You put up an impressive finale performance here. I got to ask, man, who do you want to thank for all this today?
I got to thank Charles and the guys from Goat Racing for allowing us to come over here and, run at the end of their season. During our racing season at our racetrack that my uncle owns, we're busy all year, so I don't get a chance to race on Saturday nights. So, but as far as that, just thank them, thank everybody that has anything to do with Goat and their league sponsors. Thank you for broadcasting, and congrats to whichever guy over here was lucky enough to win the championship.
I believe it'll be the guy we're going to talk to in a minute if I recall right how they set the rules up. But nevertheless, Coleman, congratulations on all that today here, buddy.
Yep, thanks, man.
Jack Coleman, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner today. And fans, it's time to talk with, I believe we're going to be considering the season champion if I said everything right or if I overhyped you up there, Charles. But, man, congratulations on this one today. Second place overall in the race. But You had it ahead of Shearer just by a couple positions. You outsmarted Gravala in the fuel. You outsmarted everybody on the late run there. What does it mean to pull this one off and take this one home finally?
I mean, it's, you know, not obviously my goal. I run the league, so I mean, it's a bonus, I guess. Winning it, didn't expect it during the course of the year, but I got to thank a lot of guys on Fastlane, and Nathan helped me out getting better, working. But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, we had to penalize someone that's not the. There's going to be an asterisk by it anyway. You know, the top point standing regular season champion had to be parked from an incident of last week. Not how I wanted it, but had to go by the rules there. So, but other than that, it was I think clean racing. This track is very, especially in these next gens, very. I mean, I just going through the dog leg sometimes. If you didn't enter it just right, your back end was flying out. So I saw a lot of saves and a lot of good work by the drivers.
I was gonna say you yourself had some troubles with that dog leg. Everyone was seeming to have troubles all day, but you yourself had some that I thought honestly might cost you a chance to even get a chance to run for that championship and really win this one out. But you still managed to at least recover well and take back control. But I gotta ask you, I mean, if that dog leg bit you that time and you didn't get that little bit of a break from the caution, would this 23 have had a chance to finish out to the title to get the title today?
No, I would definitely, before that, if that caution doesn't come out, I mean, unless the other two guys made a mistake, I mean, I do believe I was faster on the long run. Looking at my stints, I was definitely faster on the long runs, but I think it was, I don't know, 3 out of 5 laps. I had issues in the dog leg, and it was half a second every time. It's not easy to make that up. You got to be perfect every lap, or at least better than that driver every lap. And both of them are good drivers, and just gotta, be lucky, not to have any more issues. So caution came out at the right time. Beginning of that last run, I was able to pass Bud, pass Grahava. Once I knew what their lines were and where their weakness was, which was coming out of 4, which was my strong suit, I backed off at that point because I knew I could get both of them. And then looked down, saw my fuel, and I focused on that, and I just, went that way, committed to it.
Committed to it, made everything work. Man, Shaik, this was a long, long season. We've had the privilege of calling and being able to see it through to the end here. I know you run the league and all that, but man, this title still belongs to you, and that's no easy task, taking down the best of the best. So who do you want to thank for all this, sir?
Well, I'd like to, you helped us out huge after we lost our other broadcaster, stepping up, thrown in mid-season or 3/4 of the season, done an excellent job. Also, my teammate Nate, who does our broadcast on Thursday at Skull Key Esports. Fastlane deserves probably 80% of the credit of, where, my gains, I guess, in iRating and strategy and stuff. And then, obviously the sponsors who help make it work. W Admin Box, Global Strategy Team, who sponsors this one. Beef Jerky Unlimited. MDR Designs, who does my paint schemes. Jack's Racing Collectors, who supplies the diecast I give away. And Diecast by Bobby, who makes the customs, which I just posted in there, which look pretty cool for Bud's Bud's Clash win, finally getting that one. So we're getting some finished products there. He does good work. And obviously Joey over at Sim 500, which will have exciting news coming out in the next day or two for season 2, and looking forward to it, and looking forward to bigger fields and higher I ratings and higher strength of field.
Certainly indeed there, Charles. We can't wait to see it either, but nevertheless, man, the title belongs to you. Long earned and well deserved. Congratulations on becoming the champion, sir.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the season champion to end out the 2022 season campaign, Mr. Charles Van Schaik. What a performance and what a day, race fans. From all of us here at Pizza Race TV, we thank and appreciate every single one of you fans, drivers, competitors, and everybody who tunes in to just see the show, see the best come out, fight it out. We appreciate you all. We love you guys with the bottom of our hearts. Until we see you again, we will see you for the championship race tomorrow night for Pedal Metal Racing League. But we'll see you all soon enough in due time. 2023 is almost upon us. We'll see these guys next time in January of 2023. For now, good night, everybody.